Hello and welcome to my page, Spiritual with Gina, where I encourage you to live from your soul. My name is Gina. Today I have for you guys 2 amazing tips to deepen your connection with your intuition. So before I get started, do know that I have 2 powerful offerings to align you with your personal intuition, grounding you in your body, to shape your reality according to your desires, and that will be the Cosmic Human and Light of the Phoenix. For all inquiries, use the bio down below and/or follow links in bio on Instagram. So, 2 tips to deepen your connection with your intuition. The first one I have is to change the perception of your senses to connect with the unknown. So what does that mean? Basically, you want to work with the inverse of your 5 main senses to experience the perceived opposite of those senses. And of course, you have more than 5 senses, but to be concise, 5. So we have touch, so you work with the opposite, so that would be space. And also play with your own interpretations of the opposite of the senses. I encourage you to write it down, but still listen through. And then we have sight. And for that one, I have subtle perception as its opposite. So not blindness, but thinking about how could we perceive without the use of sight, subtle perception. And then we have hearing, of course, and that would be quiet and silence. And there, of course, not deafness, but just the absence of noise. And then for taste and smell, leaving that up to your own interpretation, but I have odorless for that. So of course, playing with your own interpretations, but changing the perception of your senses to connect with the unknown is a way that you can deepen your connection with your intuition. And the next thing I have here as a second way is to limit the media that you connect with. What does that mean? Of course, that means making sure that you aren't consuming content that causes energy leaks to be present and to persist. So that one's very, very simple. But I guess sometimes we can be attracted to medias that stimulate a certain chemical cocktail internally. So just knowing when that stimulation is happening and knowing when to retreat from that, and find content that elevates you, find content that expands you, find content that boosts you. And that certainly does exist. It's not saying stop consuming media altogether, but rather find media that expands your awareness, that expands your consciousness from what you normally perceive on the day-to-day, and especially apply to areas where you want to be more expanded in. And for the last portion here, I'm going to comment on what I perceive intuition to be. Because at times, it could seem that intuition is this magical woo-woo concept. And so, of course, to a certain degree, it is. We shouldn't strip the universe of its magic, because even nature itself is very, very magical. I mean, think about it. We haven't discovered the ocean in its depths. We haven't discovered certain aspects of the rainforest. There's like over 1 million species. So magic is inherently endued within nature. And we as human beings are a part of nature. And on the same token, intuition also exists in a very objective state as well. So just navigating those two awarenesses, there being the magical aspect and then the more objective aspect, fusing to be this concept of intuition. And seeing how even animals sometimes displays the concept of intuition. So that will be all for today. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope you are satisfied, satiated, and expanded in your mind, body, and soul. Bless.